So we had thought we were going to be talking to Leslie Curtis, and we've had Leslie on the show many, many times. But due to some other technical experiences, we are going to be talking to her sister. Many of you don't know that this is her sister, but Laura Belgrave is her sister, and she works there with Leslie over there at Regents Park of Boca Raton. And so I want to welcome Laura to our show. Hello, Laura.
Well, hello, Anita. Good to talk to you again.
It's always good to talk to you. Laura is responsible. I just had to appreciate her in front of everyone. Whenever we had an expo or we did our Cure Symposium, she is always there with her videotape, and she'd always come up with something so wonderful for us. She is such a generous, loving person, and that's why she's there at Regents Park, because people who are in retirement communities, whether they're there for rehab or they're there to live, they need loving, generous people. And I think that's why you and Leslie are so successful there. What do you think?
Well, I think that in large measure, Anita is absolutely dead on. And I'll tell you, obviously I've not worked in the nursing home industry my whole life. And I really wasn't sure how I would react. But I have to tell you, I so admire the people who are patients or long-term residents, because they're usually there for some reason that was unexpected. It could have been an accident, a bad fall, and any number of things that can come up, or a long-term illness that has taken now a turn for the worse. But, you know, I look at these people, I love to yak it up with them. I'll kneel down on the floor and just talk to somebody, because they have histories. They have so much knowledge, and the fact that, most of them are probably in a wheelchair, that means nothing to me. It's what comes out of them, and they just, so many of them still just have such a joy of living, Anita, quite contrary to, the perceptions that many people have about skilled nursing facilities and rehab places. I love these people. And that makes my job a lot easier. I engage with them. If I shoot a video or I take photographs, or somebody during entertainment, I can shoot some really blurry video because I find myself dancing along at the same time. Then that becomes an editing job later.
Right. No, I know. I've seen you at these activities, and you do fit in really well because you do have that way of loving people, and they feel it. Your sister, Leslie Curtis, wrote a great article last month. Actually, it just came out in the November issue of Boomer Times. I love the article. Activities go beyond just having a good time. Do you want to get into that a little bit?
Sure, and, that actually is a pretty good title, because I think most people think of activities when they associate them, particularly with the elderly, as boring, not very active. But, Anita, that can't be farther from the truth, and there's two things to be said about activities, really, that a lot of people might not understand, particularly when you're talking about activities that are held in a skilled nursing facility like we are. And that is, number one, of course, it's socialization. I mean, nobody wants someone to just stay in their room all the time. So, our effort is to make sure that we've got plenty of other things going on beyond just, okay, you've had your therapy for the day, now go back to your room, flip on the TV or whatever you want to do. We provide them methods to socialize in a lot of different ways, and a lot of the activities also actually have, I almost think of it as a secret therapeutic value. And let's just talk for a second about bingo. It's kind of a stereotypical game. If you're old, you play bingo, right? No, but Anita, when you're doing something like bingo, think about these details that are required, okay? There's dexterity, using fine motor skills to hold and manipulate those cards. There's visual coordination. There's memory. And, we have if you want to call them this, adaptive bingo cards. They're a little larger, all of the things, or if it's a card game, the cards are a little larger, but it still calls for all of these skills that can be badly eroded if you've had an illness or an injury that's put you in a situation where you need skilled nursing or rehab or both. So when you look at that, you begin to understand, no, it's actually a little bit more than would meet the eye. Now, I'm going to give you another example, and just, stop me if you have a question, because I can get pretty excited about stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to let you get off of the bingo first, okay? Because I have to tell you.
Bingo now.
No, I have to tell you why. It's because we have young triplet grandchildren, and they're always on their iPhone. They're always, well, not iPhones. They have a little iPad or whatever it is. And
sure.
They're 9. They're going to be 9 years old. And so I don't know how I got one. I got a bingo set. It's really beautiful. And I took it down with me. Well, they had not really heard about bingo or something before, and we started playing it. They went crazy. They were so cute. And finally, we had to close up because we were leaving to go home. No, leave this here. No, I'm not. I'm going to take it with me because I could see it all getting mixed up and destroyed. And now this is a special thing we play. So it is true what you said about the older adults, but they've been playing it for a long time. They knew about it when they were young, but our young children don't know about it.
No, they don't. And I think they're missing the boat on that sometimes, because as everything has moved into more technology, gear, games, all sorts of stuff, we lose that ability to just play and laugh together.
Exactly.
Instead you're laughing at something on a machine, but you're all by yourself doing this most of the time.
Do you remember pickup sticks?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I almost bought them pickup sticks, and I saw my daughter-in-law, in my mind, thought, oh, she's going to love that. They'll be stabbing each other with a pickup stick, so I didn't do that. Anyway, but I'm glad that you brought up what you did about bingo, because I was at a retirement community once, and they were playing bingo, but you could see that some of the people were really having cognitive problems, and they couldn't play bingo so casually. It took an aide to sit there and show them that was the number and this is the one, but they were enjoying it so much. So you're right. It has a lot more to do with just somebody pushing down that number.
Exactly. It really does. And again, it's also about the socialization. You're in a room full of people, and sometimes they can get a little competitive with these games,
Right.
Some people like to play more than one card at a time. Now, I've played bingo in the past. I'll admit it, I have. And I'm going to tell you, I would watch what I consider pro bingo players with, 15 cards in front of them. I'm thinking, how do they do that? I'm struggling with 2 or 3.
Well, you're absolutely right. In fact, on the cruise ship, one of the activities here, they had all these famous singers, was a celebrity bingo. and you're right. People do have a lot of cards, and I can't do it either. It's, that takes really somebody with major concentration. So, okay, we can get off bingo, but the whole point was that you do things there, not just because it's a game, but because your organization understands the health aspects of what you're doing.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And, we do more than that, of course. We've got, arts and crafts, people, and often that advance some bigger activity we're going to have out there. Not all that long ago, we had the Maccabi Games. This is young children, 13 and up, who come out and they're they're athletes. And in advance of them coming out to show and play with the residents and show some of what they do, the residents themselves, we bought baseball caps, just plain ones, and they painted them in the colors, I think it was gold and blue, and they painted them, the brims a certain color. That's an activity, and that, brings, that sort of stuff brings a lot of people out. So they'll do that. Those are specialized types of things that we get every day. Again, you talk about socialization, which basically is just getting together with some people and not being isolated. These daily ice cream socials that Regents Park Boca Raton has is astonishing. They come into the ice cream parlor. We've got a special little ice cream parlor. And somebody there, gives them ice cream, whatever flavor they want. There's about, 6 or 8 flavors. I managed once to get some of the chocolate mint, which is to die for, of course. And, it's, again, a socializing activity, something they look forward to. Comes, after lunch, they can go do that, and if they want to. Of course, there's board games, there's movie nights. Yes, they've got TVs, but isn't it nicer? It's like going to a theater, so you're around other people, and then you can talk it out, the movie afterwards if you want to. One of the really cool things, and this is relatively new, is something that we call Socrates Cafe.
I saw that. I was really curious about it.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. It's really designed to give the patients and our residents some kind of forum to just get together and debate the moral and ethical and world challenges that we're all facing, which, as you know, change every day. Who can keep up? All of a sudden, it's some country you never heard of, and you need to know about it. But, it could be about some new thing that's happened in politics that they're going to talk it out. It could be, more recently, Ebola was in the news. And these things can get pretty feisty. These people come together, and they love the opportunity to just talk like this, and they get quite animated when they do that.
I love quite animated,
side,
right?
Yeah, and on the flip side, that's the, have some fun with your brain and engage in a different kind of way. Then we've got this whole Silver Sneakers program. Now, Anita, this is primarily crafted toward people using the Silver Sneakers basic in therapy and how these are done for older people. But it is primarily people in wheelchairs. And you'd think, well, what could they possibly do? But I'm telling you, and I did shoot a video on this one that's on our YouTube channel, this thing is amazing. You get somebody up there who leads it based on the Silver Sneakers principles, and they start them off kind of slow. It's a little bit of arm stretching in this. Well, it's almost like dance toward the end. Okay, then there usually is music playing too. And even that can become competitive. And I look around at some of these older people and I think, how can she lift her leg out like that? Not once, but 15 times. What's wrong with me? I got to get into this. I belong in this program.
Right.
And so they really get into that. It's mild exercises, but it increases in intensity, and it's something they really enjoy. So it's taking people out once a month to, say, a restaurant. It might be Red Lobster, Macaroni's, a place like this. This is like, let's just go. Let's just go have some fun. We have these monthly outings, and we take them out in a little van and alternate people. You can't fit everybody in a van at once, but it gives you, a cluster of people to go out like, our food is good, don't get me wrong, but who doesn't want to occasionally just go out to dinner like you used to? And part of this whole activity business really, Anita, and this is my take, I'm not a medical professional, but my take on this is, if you wound up in a situation that's put you very abruptly, in most cases, into a nursing home or for rehab, even if it's just short term, it isn't just that your physical life has changed. Your whole social structure has changed, no matter what it was. Part of that is going out to dinner for a lot of people, getting together, doing whatever their leisure activities are. Sometimes it might have been golf. We've got coming up, this is cool, I think, because the weather's, as you know, we're lucky. We're in South Florida, and the weather's finally starting to get to that ideal stage, Anita, right? So pretty soon, I think it's on the 20th, we're going to have a special gardening activity, and we'll be bringing the people outside. Okay, now let's go outside, and we'll have soil and pots, and they will do some planting, because that's one of those leisure activities. So many people, when they say they're past retirement, now they've had time, and they turn their attention to gardening. Suddenly that's been ripped away from them too, right?
Yeah, you're so right.
We're forever thinking of different ways we have our happy hours, and live entertainment, professional singers, just on a variety of levels. Often it's singers. We've school children who come in, and that's always a hit. So anything we can do that, and mind you, when I say that, people have different interests. So it might not be something terribly physically active. Some people like to read a lot. We do have readers there, I can tell you this. They love to go down to the lobby and read, or outside and read. And so we have a library, pretty extensive library with novels and other kinds of books, and people can just come pick something up and, whenever they want to, just go ahead and read. Some prefer that kind of more mild activity, but they usually will do it in a public area of the building because they're around people. They see things happening.
Well, I want to tell everybody again that we had planned on hearing from Leslie Curtis, but Leslie, we had a situation that we had to get someone to fill in for her quickly. And who else would it be but her sister, who also works there at Regents Park of Boca, and it's Laura Belgrave. And we're talking about how wonderful it is to be entertained, and be entertained with education in mind as well as socialization. And also some things that you have that I don't know if we really talked about, but you do have great speakers. I mean, you do. You bring people from outside the community to come in there, and not everyone doesn't have to come to the speeches, but you always find, about 10 or 12 people that are really interested in this.
Oh, absolutely. We've got, I believe it's Thursday. I believe we've got a surgeon, an expert in rotator cuff issues.
Oh, my.
Who will be speaking. Yeah. He's a doctor. I'm not sure which hospital. Frankly, I don't recall. But he'll be coming in and spending about an hour talking about the latest in the surgeries, how to identify rotator, what you need to do. And there are a lot of residents who come in there, and they'll often call their family members, come in. Look, if say you're 78 or 80, you've probably got a child who's 50 or maybe even 60, who's also about to go through rotator cuff surgery or is thinking about maybe I should. So they'll come into family members will come in. Sometimes members of the public will come in. That room, we've got a large room in which we host these, and that gets filled. And, of course, we have some refreshments and so forth, and it's almost always a big hit. We've been increasingly doing this sort of thing, not unlike what you have done with your Cure Symposium, but
right.
On our own level, because there's so much going on in the medical world, and who can keep up? Who can keep up,
Excellent.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. And things have changed so much when you start thinking about what someone would call a nursing home or a place where the older people just went to die. That's the totally opposite now. And I think that Laura really explained it so well, that it's a place to really live longer. Its longevity is the facilities place. That's their motto now. We want to have you here longer and feel better, and we're going to provide everything that's the highest quality and high tech. I mean, I think you even have people staying there who are on the computer. Are you not? Do you not?
Oh, sure we do. We do. We've got computers available for residents, family members. We got the free Wi-Fi, and there are some residents who have iPads or other tablets, and this way they can connect and do whatever it is that's intrigued them. And occasionally we've even had computer classes for people who are interested in doing that. So we keep up with the modern world for those who have an interest in it, and find that it's really a nice way to communicate and stay online and connected with people. So we offer as broad a range as we can. But to go back to one of the points you made, Anita, and thank you for it, this concept of, going into nursing homes, it's the last journey, this is where you're going to die. And all. No, this is where you're going to live better. I'm not saying in ideal circumstances you wouldn't stay at home. Who wouldn't? But if that can't be the way it is, it doesn't mean your life is over. It just means it's changed, and we make it as, we consider it their home, not ours. It's their home. And that's how we try to treat all of them and give them anything that we possibly can that would make that, not just comfortable, but even, yes, sometimes fun, and in a way that provides therapy and keeps them moving. His movement is life.
So what I want to do is give information. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio. It's time for you to get your pencils out. If you would like to have a tour of Regents Park, just so you could tell that it's really real and it's really out there, the phone number is 561-483-9282. Again, that's 561-483-9282. And you can go on their website, and that's regentsparkboca.com. Regents with an S, regentsparkboca.com. Now, don't be afraid when you go there. You'll think you're at the wrong place because it looks like this wonderful resort. You know, when you drive up, no, the valet. No, this must not be the place I'm supposed to be going to. Yes, it is. So don't get caught off on that. But it really is beautiful, and you'll see during the holidays they're going to have so many things there that just will attract you so much. I wanted to also keep talking about something. I know that, and I don't know if you did mention, I just missed it, that you have pet therapy there, which I think is so important for the residents.
Well, I mean, Anita, the thing is, people who've had their own pets or still do, that doesn't mean they're never going to see that pet again. Well, you can bring your dog in, okay? Their family members will bring in the dogs periodically. But we also bring in a group that specializes in this sort of thing. They've got the idea. They're so cute, puppies, other kinds of dogs, and just let the residents play with them, and hold them and pet them. And I wish you could see the smiles on their faces when this goes on. It's, who doesn't? We all love our pets. And who doesn't love to just be around them from time to time? So this is a regular occurrence there, and it's just not unusual to walk down a hallway and there's someone with their pet. We also have a gentleman who comes in. He's a volunteer, actually, from an organization, and he just comes in. He plays. We've got this beautiful white grand piano in the lobby. He plays it quite well. But he comes with a service dog. It looks almost like a part wolf. It's a big dog. It's the most placid, gorgeous animal. And that dog just sits there nicely, lets people pet him by the piano while this gentleman plays beautiful music. This is a draw. This is spontaneous. We never know for sure when he's coming. And sometimes residents will play the piano.
Yes.
We had one resident recently, Anita, who was his whole life from the Army on. He started as a bugler or something, but plays terrific trumpet. And, I saw him in a therapy session once, and he brought his trumpet in there. And,
no way.
Yeah, he's in one of my videos, too, because I was so smitten with this guy. Friendliest man on the planet, number one. But he also is very talented. And so you never know what they're going to even come up with on their own. And he was in there for short-term rehab. I don't know if he's still there right now or not, but a terrific fella. So there's spontaneous stuff that's happening all the time, too. And that's what makes it fun. You never know for sure what you're going to see or hear when you walk in.
Yeah.
And those tours that you mentioned, I just want to remind people, if they don't know, you don't have to make appointments. Some people require appointments, or places do, but we don't. If you want a tour, you just wander in that building, and we will find somebody with the expertise to show you around. And this is good because you see things as they are. We're not going to run around pretty it up just because you're coming, because we don't know when you're coming. And you'll see what it really, really is going on, to see the therapy that's happening, to see what the rooms look like, what the nursing stations look like, what some of these activities look like. And ask all the questions that you have, because people should be out there. Well, actually, even before something happens, it'd be really swell, Go scope them out just in case you ever need a place like this. So those tours are a big deal, but people don't need an appointment. All they got to do is drop in.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And a lot of people will say, well, I don't know if that's the right place. So go to a few places. I mean, you have to do this yourself, and you shouldn't let your physician or your neighbor or whoever else or the social worker, after you leave a hospital, tell you where to go. You need to see it for yourself, and you ought to do it before you have that operation if it is planned. But I always tell the story of someone who knew exactly that the place that they were told, their doctor told them was the best, and I knew it wasn't the best because I had, I knew where I was going to send, tell him to go. And so he went, and then after 3 weeks, he was so mad. And he said, oh, that wasn't good. I said, I told you. I didn't want to do too much. I told you so. But
no, but
yeah, so people do, you see, when they're in a weakened condition, the doctor has a lot of power. And the social worker or the discharge planner has a lot of power. And they think that they have no choice.
No, I know. And people should have choice. By law, they have choice. But it's easy to be swayed, especially, if your physician is saying, well, I always send people here. Well, go look at it, but it may not be the right place for you. And please, as you said, especially if you're scheduling in advance something where you're very likely to require some therapy, a month or a couple weeks or whatever it's going to be, go check out these other places. Get your questions answered,
And if you wind up at Regents Park or Boca, you just may get on television. And they have, and I think I'm saving this for last, you have your own YouTube channel.
Oh, we do, yes. It's just plain old youtube.com/Regents Park Boca. And we've got something like 39 or 40 videos on there now, a variety of things, whatever. Sometimes I've shot videos there, Anita, because I've wandered in for some reason. And
like that horn player.
Like the trumpet player. It's like, oh, would you mind if I have to go dash after my camera, change all my settings, and
I thought you have it kind of glued to your back. You always have it with you.
It seems like I feel like a pack horse sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's been wonderful, Laura, talking with you. I just have to tell you it. We love Leslie, but you are just great, and so it's like the twins. And we're happy that you were able to do it.
One more name here. The person who is actually the director of our activities is Robin Gardner, who's been with us 15 years, and she's pretty much a pro at this sort of thing, and always looking for other ways to do activities.
Good.
So,
well, thank you, Robin, for being there so long and for taking care of everyone, and thank you, Laura, for filling in for us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, Anita. You know that.
I know. You're wonderful. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.